The gospel is the truth and not an idea. Grace and peace, everybody. What is truth? Remember, that's what Pilate asked, and it's what many are asking today. But I'm so glad that we can know the answer, because the answer is a person. But before we look at the truth and see that it's not a theory, but a reality, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And we really appreciate you liking the video. It helps the algorithm figure out that this is where some good stuff is. And also pass this on to someone and go to the website. That's at changeministry.org, where you'll see this study and many, many more to encourage your faith. What is truth? Well, we're introduced to truth in the Gospel of John that we're studying as a person. This is not something that starts as a theological argument, but it starts as a universal reality. The reality is that he was not that light, speaking of John the Baptist in John 1, verse 8, but he was sent to bear witness of that light. And so John is contrasted to the light, but he's also compared to the light because he's bearing witness to this light. That was the true light in verse 9, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So this is a light that is clearly transcendent because it lights on every man in the world. But let's be real. We have an enemy. We have a deceiver, Satan, who was known as the light bearer. His name was Lucifer. He was a lowercase light. And it's why we see in John, the light of Christ is referred to in the uppercase, the proper noun. And that shows that there is no other light like this light. Lucifer had a light, and there are lights, all kinds, but there is only one, the light. That's Christ. Now, if you go up in John 1, right off the top, John testifies that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So now we see Christ being analogized to light. But now before the light, he's the Word. So it's as if to say that if we were to argue to the preeminence or the position of one or the other, it's no coincidence that it starts with the Word. It starts with a thus saith the Lord. And the thus saith the Lord is the basis of all reality. So the fact that all the things that the Gospel of John could have started to say that Jesus was, it starts by saying he's the Word. So it's as if this light is shining from, the light is emanating from the Word. Now, Jesus is both, but fundamentally and initially, he's understood as the Word, not a word, not word of many words, but the Word. So now going on, it says that this Word is made flesh and dwelled among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So we've gone from light to the Word and now to truth, but it's so seamless when you look at verse 1 and take it with connection with verse 14. So now you see that this thing that's the Word that appears to just be a thing, it's not a thing, it's a person. This Word is made flesh. The Word that predates us, Jesus as the Word, now in time becomes flesh. So there's no change in essence, just in expression. The Word now is made flesh. It's still the Word, and now it's in the flesh. This is why he could speak with the authority that he spoke with, live with the authority that he lived with, and now even reign in the authority that he reigns with. Because in Psalm 86, the confession by the psalmist is that thou, O Lord, art a God full of compassion and gracious, long-suffering, and plenteous in mercy and truth. Jesus, just like the Father, is full of compassion, full of grace, full of mercy, and full of truth. When we hear of him in Psalm 86, but when we see him in John, especially right there in verse 14, that's why it says he's full of grace and full of truth. There's no room for anything else. There's no room for a lie. There's no lie in love. There is no trick in truth. Truth is a person. And the only way that truth can change is if the person of truth is changing. And if Jesus never changes, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of our cultural context or whatever's going on, he's still the truth. He's even the truth if we believe him or not. So why not make the choice to trust and obey? the truth.